He said, goddamn. He said, all right. I said, let's do a podcast. Let's sit down. Let's get a coffee. Let's just talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. Coffee with the Sam. Got a little podcast. Grab yourself a little coffee and a podcast.
What's happening, guys? And welcome to another crazy episode of the caffeine-fueled Coffee with Sam podcast. Now, if you're on the audio, I've got a guest in the studio. No more Zoomage. I've got someone in. Someone didn't say no to me. Someone came to the studio, so the quality is going to be better, because when we're on Zoom, the quality is not good. So welcome to the Coffee with Sam podcast. Very, very good friend of mine. One of my groomsmen at my wedding, Mr. Hayden Laverick.
Hi, everybody.
Don't be too nervous.
No.
Pull that mic round in front of your face. There you go. Don't go too close. Just go that way a bit. There we go. There we go. Not too heavy-handed.
Big ants.
So we're gonna get those big sledgehammer hands. We're gonna get into it. But Hayden Laverick, he is here. There's many things I could talk to him about, and there's many experiences. I want to get you in on the wobbly coffee as well. I want to get you in.
I can't wait for the wobbly.
Have a beer, and we'll dive into many of our experiences and memories together. But the reason why I've got you to the Coffee with Sam is because you've got an unusual sport. And we met doing cheerleading,
yeah.
But my listeners are probably bored about hearing about cheerleading. You've got another sport which does not go with cheerleading.
Not at all.
One bit, and that's why you are here today. It is, since my beloved Man United have started not winning, it's probably come up one of my best favourite sports. I'm now a number one supporter. I'm texting Hayden all the time to try and find out about the rules.
Yeah.
And the Coffee with Sam podcast is actually looking at sponsoring his team. Hayden plays ice hockey.
Yeah, so obviously I played ice hockey for a very long time. Probably, I think I worked it out about 2003.
How old are you now? About 45?
No.
He's the only dude in our friendship circle that gets younger. He literally gets younger. Martin's hair's falling out, but mine's getting grey. I literally just went to pick something up from someone I've not seen for about 6 months, and I went, "Is it the marriage or is it the job that's made you get greyer?" That's the first thing he said to me.
Oh.
Some dude just said to me the first thing he said. I was like, "Really?" So Hayden's the only one in our group that just gets younger and younger and younger. Is it a vodka?
It possibly could be. Maybe that's the trick.
The Russian youth serum vodka. Sorry, so Karen, you've been playing hockey for a long time.
So I started hockey probably 2003-ish. I couldn't tell you exactly. I was very young. Not young compared. Like, obviously, kids start at the age of 2, like Americans and Canada. So I was quite late. But it was a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, Luke, that got me into hockey. He just said, "Oh, let's go and watch a couple of games." Went and watched the Blaze back in the day, which just started up because they used to play out of Solihull. It used to be Solihull Blaze, and then obviously they came over to Coventry and become Coventry Blaze. So we went and watched a couple of games, and then they announced they were opening juniors. So I started juniors. Obviously, juniors start from age 10 all the way up to...
Let's put a pin in there. I'm going to keep doing this throughout the whole episode. Just remember where you are.
Yeah.
You've picked two sports that you said, in America and Canada. You've picked two sports that are not big in the UK at all. How do you even get into ice hockey? Like, my mum used to play old school, like, grass hockey.
Yeah.
But ice hockey in the UK, is it a big thing? Like
It's fairly big. It is. I'll say, obviously, the highest you can go in the UK is Elite League. But I'll say the leagues have changed over the years. It used to be, the Blaze used to be EPL, but then they progressed to, well, it's changed that many times, but now it's Elite League. There still is EPL, but that's a few levels.
The NIHL?
Oh, that's a few. So we're low, quite low compared to the Elite League.
Yeah.
But, there was a guy that was on the internet, and he said, "What the hell is this NIHL? Like, who are they?" And it's like,
What, someone from England?
no, someone abroad.
Oh,
They were like, "Who is this? And what is this?"
a bit
league?"
like their American football
Yeah.
and they're like, the World Championships,
Yeah.
just America against America, and
Yeah.
they're like, well, who's England type
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
But going back, we watched a couple of games, and then, like I said, they started the juniors. I think I started in under 14s or something, but I went as a goalie because when me and Luke used to train, just firing a ball or whatever into a net, it got a bit boring on an empty net. So I said, I'll just jump in goal. So I jumped in goal, and like I say, as the time went on, I just got better and better and better, and to the point where it's like, okay, I'll give this a go. My mum weren't too happy, the fact I've become a goalie, because she had to pay for everything. Which I remember her taking me to the first shop.
Oh yeah, well of course there's way more stuff, right?
Yeah, well, it's more expensive. Like just helmet, you're looking nearly $1,000.
Well, a goalie's helmet is different to a helmet that's on the.
Yeah. So a goalie's helmet is obviously more protection on the front, not a lot on the back. So the idea is you don't turn your back on the puck.
Yeah.
Because we haven't got a lot of padding on our backs, to be fair. We're quite open compared to, well, players are quite covered up. They have got their gaps between different items. Yeah, well, I forgot where I was got to.
You were going with your mum costing money.
Oh, yeah,
And I just
yeah,
asked like about the difference in what the goalies wear.
Yeah, so
and the cost.
we went to this farm, and it was in the middle of nowhere, and it was just a farm workshop, and it was just full of goalie gear, and I was just like in heaven, and I was like, Mum, I want that, Mum, I want that, and just like tallying it up, and I think we walked out of there. It's not a lot to today's prices, so we walked out of there. Bearing in mind I was only 14, probably $5,000 worth of kit just walking out, and I bet them people were just rubbing around.
It is a junior though, isn't it? As a junior as well, yeah.
And but as the time goes on, like now, my kit would cost me anywhere between just my pads alone, probably up to $2,000 to $5,000, depending on what sort of stuff you buy. It does get extortionate, but the best thing is, the older you get, the less kit you buy, because you've stopped growing. I stopped.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, you're getting smaller, so you should be able to go back into your junior kit in a couple of years.
Yeah, I've got most of it still.
You're
in the
getting younger, mate.
Yeah.
You'll be able to go back into it.
But obviously that was the first shopping trip. Whenever. What else?
Going into it, like, how did you get into it? Where does ice hockey come from? I know, like Coventry Blaze, and that's the I'll say program, like we're talking about cheer, but the program you play for is Coventry Blaze.
Yeah.
It's quite big, isn't it? Or was quite big.
Yeah,
like
so
in Coventry, like.
Well, as like I say, they get quite a few fans in. Not like us. We'll go into that later. But yeah, it's just like I say.
It's a weird sport though, because for £8, like I paid £8. I don't know what a main game is. How much is a main game?
I ain't been to one for a while, but
£12, double that.
no,
like,
it's not. It's more. It's
is it 20 odd quid?
It's 20 odd quid.
20 odd
yeah.
quid, but still 20 odd quid. And it was pretty good, like action packed. Like it sounds really bad. Like I've only ever been to one game. That's really bad. But loved it, absolutely loved it. And I can imagine with a fan base as well. There was only 2 or 3 scraps, and I'm sorry, someone who doesn't understand hockey, all you're going for is the scraps. Like, and there was a couple of scraps just in this game. I can imagine if there's a packed stadium and it kicks off, it must be incredible because they play up to it as well, don't they? It's a bit like the UFC mixed with WWE. Like, you guys know that you're allowed to do it, so you do it. You are covered in pads as well until you take them off, but then you know the crowd are gonna love it because that's what they're there for. So it's like the UFC mixed with WWE. You're doing it for a show, but you can actually hit each other. It's a bit like the UFC, really. But there was a couple of scraps. Like I can imagine with a full crowd full of people. So going into that, the scraps come from, which I'm trying to think about my listeners and viewers thinking about it. They don't understand hockey like myself. The contact rule is absolutely insane. Like, if someone ran up to you in a nightclub and did what you guys do on the ice to each other, there would be scraps all the time. But we would see people go in, we were kicking off, and your lads would just get up, brush themselves off, or vice versa. And it's like, we were like, well, they must be allowed to do that. We're like, okay, cool, they're allowed to do that. And we were trying to work out, does the ref have to be like, well, it's 50-50, it's that was intentional, not intentional? Like, how does that contact rule work?
So basically, you're allowed to hit. It's a contact sport at the end of the day. So there's a fine line between a fair hit and a bad hit. Obviously, they try and say the player's back's turned, so the numbers are on show. You're not meant to hit them because that's then checking from behind. They could go into the boards head first, break their neck. There's a rule saying, well, I say a rule. If you take more than 3 strides, so obviously if you went full pout and then hit the guy, you'd get done for charging, and then you'd sit in the penalty box.
My head just went weird then. You said 3 strides and all I heard was ksh, 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 ksh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about strides. My head was just off here like going ksh, 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 ksh.
So yeah, like I say, there's a fine line, but it is a good part of
I need to remember all these now because we can watch it and I can go, ref, that was way more than 3 strides. We can get right involved now. It just sounds really weird that there's like, I suppose it's a bit like rugby really, that it's physical contact, but there are rules.
Yeah.
But the rules are just insane, like just getting hammered up the side and it's all okay. How do you not see, we'll get back to your journey in hockey first, but these are all my questions that are like, this is what I'll ask. How do you not see red all the time? How do your players and yourself not see red all the time? I know it's, you say, oh, you're used to it, but...
Nah, they're probably, they've got the coach in the back of their head telling them, like, don't buy it.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, don't do this, don't do that. Because the main thing in hockey, and the way that we are, obviously, winning a few games, and it's...
4 unbeaten run. Let's go. Let's go. Second in the league. Yeah. We'll get to the point system in a minute, because I don't understand that either. But second in the league...
So, like I say, you've got the coach going in your head, but the way we're doing it is just mentally being better than the other team, as in, like, not rising to the occasion, because they want us to draw penalties as well.
Yeah.
They want us being in the box as well. So if they get a penalty, they'll probably try and entice us to get one as well. So we're back even on the ice.
Yeah.
So they're not odd, basically. But like I say, if you did do something silly, the coaches got you.
Yeah, and how does a sending off work?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you get sent off? If you can have that, would it be a you skated in too much, or that was intentional, or you came from behind?
Yeah, so...
Is that the way you're going to get sent off?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, there's other rules. Obviously, fighting, checking to the head.
But you're allowed to fight though, right?
You are.
To an extent.
To an extent. Well,
I love that.
Well, regardless, if you fight, you're still getting a penalty. That's the thing. Like,
okay.
Like, you fight, you get a penalty, but it then comes down to, was it a fair fight? Did the other player drop his gloves? Was he willing?
Yeah.
Obviously, if one player was willing to fight and the other one didn't, and then that player's probably going to come off worse, the one that actually carried on fighting.
You had that last week, because there was a dude on the ground after I think you just saved something, you all went piling in, and there's a dude on the ground, and he just... pushed him into the ground, and it wasn't even like a ref's not going to see that. It was full on aggression, blatant. And then he stood up. I think it was Sam, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Stood up, and he started going at him, and it was like, dude, like. And then Neil just started shouting. Was not saying anything all game. You don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke. We were like, we're all 3 of us are fans. Yeah, all 3 of us are fans.
No, so obviously, again, that's them trying to get under our skin.
So that's tactical as well.
That's tactical. So they're trying to get under our skin to make us retaliate, and probably hoping that Sam was going to get up and throw a punch or something, and that's it, sent off. So it is tactical throughout the game, like different things, mind games all the time. A team that we're going to be coming up against this weekend, like they've been doing some for the last 2 seasons, maybe more, where they'll skate through my crease and just cut my crease up. But that's an ongoing thing. It's a bit of a joke for them, not a joke for me, but at the end of the day, I could break my ankle on it.
So what's that, as in your goalie crease?
So obviously, for the people that...
Just to you though, or to everyone?
No, just to me. Like, it's an ongoing thing, like, because obviously they know it bugs me. But I don't. Well, I did retaliate the first time I did it. But so I think they're trying to expect me to retaliate again. And obviously, I'm a big part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can't lose it.
Exactly. And that's hard for me as a goalie, is the fact that I can't get involved. Like some of them, especially because there's quite young kids on our team, and I'm the oldest.
You got to back them up.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the dad, and I have to look after them. But I say there's moments I can like get involved. I can pull players out of there, but I physically wouldn't lose my crap. I didn't want. I was going to swear then.
No, you can swear, mate. Go for it. Go
I couldn't physically lose my shit because obviously, if I get sent off and then we're relying on our backup goalie, which that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying but obviously I'm number one goalie for a reason.
Yes, you are.
For that save I made last week, that's just
Mate, for all of them. I made up my own chant for you. I was that drunk.
Oh, mate.
So just let you guys go. If you don't see my social media or the Wobbly Coffee social media, me, Jack, and Neil went to watch their game. Because like I say, we're looking at sponsoring them. We're looking at doing some stepping out, maybe doing a live Wobbly Coffee from there. We got a bit involved. We got a bit engaged. What was I calling you? Oh, his last name don't rhyme with brick for no reason, because he's a wall. He's Hayden Laverick.
It made no sense, but it was funny.
Laverick, yeah. It is wall.
Oh yeah. To me on the ice at the time,
I'm getting a T-shirt printed with a wall and your face on it.
Do it. I want to see it in the next game.
Well, yeah, we're not going to talk about this team because we'll play the mind games.
Yeah.
Three Musketeers will come to every game if we can.
Yeah.
Try and put them down. But they're trying not to. So you did retaliate, as in fight wise, or kicked off, or ref, or is it illegal? Like, how are they getting that close to your goal?
So, they do it when they skate on the ice. So obviously the initial skate round just before the whistle, basically before your period, because we have 3 periods. So they just skate around and just cut through the crease, and then I have to wait for someone to come out and repair the ice, and it's just a mind game because obviously it's messing with our heads. But let's not get into it.
What way you get into it is by beating them this weekend.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Mate, if you come away with what's a normal score in ice hockey?
A normal score is probably 3-4, like sort of. It just depends, really.
Because it's so close.
It depends on the game.
That's what shocked me. I've been to so many ice rinks, but never thought about playing a game of hockey on there. How many people are there in each team?
Well, you put me on the spot now. We've normally got 4 lines of 5 people. So
20.
Plus me and another goalie. So about 20.
Oh yeah, because you can roll on, roll off, can't you?
Yeah.
So not put you on the spot because that wasn't a trick question. so you can literally whatever they go, hey, and everyone just goes,
yeah,
hey, off the side.
In and out.
It looks so funny to watch when they do more than one, or literally just someone's like, we were going, where's he come from? What's happening here? Okay, it's like 20 odd people, but how many are on the ice at the same time?
5.
5.
Yeah.
It's so fast. When you get
That's 5 each team.
This is 5 people, just 2.5 on each other. But it's so close. I've never thought about that many people on a ring at the same time skating. At how fast are we going? Clocking good 20 mile an hour, 25 mile an hour, easy.
I think we need a speedo.
Dude, you know these questions.
We need a speedo on it.
Dude, you know I'm not asking normal questions like what do you wear on your feet. I'm asking stupid questions because that's how my brain works. I wonder how fast they're going. We had the conversation at the game. I wonder how fast they're going.
I think.
Like the sweep around, man, the back of the goal. We were saying, imagine they could do that in football.
I actually seen some on Instagram or whatever. And am I allowed to say Instagram?
Yeah, say what you want, mate. We ain't got a big enough following to get cut off. Yeah. Actually, wait there. Freezer Party did get. We got shadow banned on that.
So yeah, I seen a video on there saying NHL player was skating up to 45 miles an hour.
Okay, let's go 30 then. So 30 mile an hour, 10, 15 people on the thing, whatever, swapping as quick as they can.
And when they collide, do you imagine?
For only
60 mile an hour impact.
For only one goal to go in, that's a pretty either really bad game or very well intense fought game. So average 3 goals.
Roughly, yeah. I think I've been doing better than that. So
Unless you're Sharks.
let's not go there.
Okay. They're new in the season.
On-
They're new, though, aren't
they
they?
are- well,
See,
they are.
I sound like a
No,
long-term
yeah,
fan.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
No, they're new to this.
Mate,
this-
even your social media slightly threw shade by accident on purpose when they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're playing Sharks this weekend." They got smashed 7-0 last weekend. I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
that's like the M&S Aldi argument, like just accidentally throwing a bit of shade."
No, obviously they're a new team. To be fair, I'm pretty sure we got told they were like an 18s team coming up into our league. Basically, all the players were coming up, but mate, they look like old men. I couldn't believe
They
it.
could be over 18, but over 30s, 40s.
I thought it was a beer league we were playing.
What? And do you get promoted into your league?
No, so obviously you get to a certain age and then you end up coming into our league because that's the only place you can go, or you go to rec hockey, which is recreational.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically as soon as you finish the juniors, you just go out and find yourself a team, basically.
Because you've played for. So we'll go back to your little. It's not a little story. Your story from being a little kid, juniors. Then you've been around. Haven't you? You've played in a few high level teams. So where from that you hit your juniors? Where do we go from there? What's the story?
Juniors all the way up. It was under 19s at the time. I think we won the league under 19s, and then we all left because we was over age, so we couldn't play under 19s anymore. Then they started at the time. I think it was ENL. I think they just make the names up. ENL, NIHL. And then I played at Cov for a few years. Ended up having a bit of fallout with one of the coaches.
Not you, Hayden.
That seems to be the way I leave.
For this same team, or was you in the top team, or was you in the?
Oh, so during my time of like 19s, I was like the third goalie for the actual elite league. I don't know if they were classed as elite league at the time because I don't think that league was out.
But they were the top of where you could go in ice hockey unless you were on TV, or was that the top?
Well, that was a top team.
You couldn't go any further.
I couldn't go to a higher league, but like I say, I was only a backup. I didn't actually physically. I might have played in one of the best of British games, and that was only because the goalie got injured.
So further than some people have ever got.
But like I say, I've had the opportunity to. That's what I was saying. Like, obviously, I've had the opportunity to play in front of a massive crowd, and it does make a massive difference. And then from there, I went over to Solihull and played in Solihull.
That's where your brother's at now, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
Boo, the other Laverick.
Yeah, I'm the better one.
Keeper as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your banter between you and your brother is hilarious, man.
So, like I say, I went over there. Pretty sure we won everything. We literally won the league, won the cup. What else did we win? I don't know. Can't remember. But everything that, yeah. And then again, I think I may have gone back to Coventry for a bit. But at this point, I'd started losing the love for hockey. And
why was that?
I think because
you won everything. You're like, this is an easy game. No, I'm joking.
Like I say, certain things started, and then I become a backup goalie. So obviously I weren't playing every week.
First team.
And it does take a toll on you as a player. Like eventually you think, well, maybe I'm not good enough or whatever. And then like I say, there was just certain things that I didn't agree with, like players not turning up, and then they'll turn up on game day and they'll get the game, and it's like, well, I've been here every day, every week at training, nothing, and I think that played a part of me just falling out of love with the sport, and then eventually I just said I ain't doing it no more. And
you found cheer.
I did, and I found cheer, and obviously I've travelled the world with you and a few of the other lads.
Yeah, we've had some good memories with cheer, man. What's the difference with, like, what did hockey teach you? Like, did you learn anything as a sportsman or a human being that hockey taught you that nothing else has?
So obviously it teaches you playing with others, obviously team building skills, and it learnt you to accept winning and losing as well, because obviously today's, I don't agree with like the schools when they say everybody's a winner, it's a taking part. No, it's not. There's got to be winning, there's got to be losers. It's the way people learn. And
I was going to say learning, yeah.
And it's just accepting it. And then what else?
So something that cheer taught you differently to what hockey taught you?
Something cheer. Oh, just enjoy it every moment you get under the spotlight. I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong. If I could pick my life through which sport I would choose over each other, I'd pick cheer all day long, just purely because I got to travel, I got to meet new people. Well, obviously I meet new people through hockey, but not as many, obviously.
Do you think that could have been different though if the love for it wasn't sucked out of it? And also, I suppose when you were that age in there, probably hockey was the be all and the end all, and that I need to be a professional, and there probably wasn't much money in being a professional, so you were chasing like an empty dream as such. Whereas when you hit cheer, there was no expectation. I'm never going to make a career out of this. I'm not going to pay the bills out of it. It's just going to cost me thousands of pounds, and I'm just going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Do you think if the love hadn't have been sucked out of it, that you might pick hockey?
No. As it stands, I would pick cheer over hockey. It's just like now, obviously, I've found the love for it again, so I'm enjoying it, and I'm like obviously playing and stuff. But
I feel like you just said there as well. You've found a good role to pass on. Like many people would take your story as a failure, like you were only a third choice goalkeeper. Wow, you didn't really make it. But you're now using that to inspire the next group of lads, and like you've just said, like, and you've changed since I know we've all changed since we met, but. Old you would have said, I'm just going to run out there and smack whoever starts on the younger kids, where you're going, well, actually, I need to be a little bit grown up because I need to teach them you can't always smack people for no reason. And you need to set a good example. And I think that's it would have been amazing for you to make it, but that's incredible that you can now do what you're doing. And I think you saying you would pick cheer is... I think the group of people you got to do it with, that would be my thing. I think if I went to any other team and had any other group of people at any other year, if I'd have missed that year or gone to someone else, I don't think I would ever have the same love for cheer that I had for cheer, because it was like that team. And even though we never did the medals that the other teams after us have brought in, they still probably didn't have fun winning those medals as much fun as we had.
Yeah.
And we were winning,
definitely.
We just weren't winning medals. So, like, that group of people. But it's also, it's bad for me to ask you that question for that comparison, because they're two completely different sports, two completely different social aspects, two completely different types of people. For one, I might be completely wrong, because when I first met you, I thought, yeah, hockey player. But then when I actually got to know you, I was like, nah, full-on cheerleader. Don't know how he gets on in a hockey team. So I might be completely wrong, but I could see being a hockey player, you've got to be tough, hard-headed.
Yeah, so...
If I got knocked over on the ice, I'd be like, he pushed me.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to have... A lot of the game is mental. Like, obviously, the physical side, your body can take a knock. Like, probably more than you can actually probably think you can. Especially in a game situation, you've got the adrenaline going. Like, I've been injured before, but it's a lot of mental. Like, you've got to physically think, I can get to that puck, as well as being able to get there. You've got to, if you didn't have it up here to think, I'm going to get there, your body's not going to even attempt it.
Yeah.
So, but going back to, obviously, me going to cheer. So I lost the love for hockey. Then I went to cheer. In 2019 was my last full year for cheer, and that was due to me getting married in 2020. Obviously, COVID put a stop to that, but we'll come back to that in a minute. And so my brother, he got asked to go to Milton Keynes, and I said, "Oh, that's a great opportunity. Go and do it." And he's like, "Yeah, but they've asking me if you'd come out of retirement and come and play as well." And I was like, he's been playing So I knew that if I go back, I'm going to be a backup goalie, which I weren't too happy about. But I've been out the game for God knows how long, so I accepted it, and I went there. And we didn't have the greatest year, but I kind of fell in love for it again. And then COVID hit. Obviously, the wedding was off, like the wedding pushed back. But during that COVID period, our hockey carried on, where obviously cheerleading stopped pretty much in this country.
Yeah.
The
Americans did what they want.
Oh yeah, they.
Yeah.
Trump said yeah.
Yeah, they just did what they want.
But I say, obviously, during the time that we did have off, the actual lockdown time, I trained, because we physically couldn't go to the gym or anything. I was out running, and obviously my brother, he was doing the opposite. He was just going out having fun, going on his bike, doing what he wants, basically. But then when we came back to the ice, you could see the difference in both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I was a lot more nimble on the ice, a lot quicker, obviously more fitter than I was before we broke up for the COVID. And then that's when I found the real love for the sport again, because I was like, well, maybe I'm not past it. Maybe I can be a number one goalie still. And then did we have another year? Yeah, I think we had we had the online, because COVID, we had the second wave of COVID, so we had the online hockey. So we had no fans; it was just all broadcast. And obviously, I was getting a lot more ice time then over Graham, which I don't think Graham was too happy about. But hey ho. And then when everything lifted, the new season was coming in, and then that's when Coventry approached me and said, like, we want to take you on as our number one goalie. Graham moved on to Solihull because he was expecting the baby, so he wanted a bit more closer to home instead of Milton Keynes.
Do you play against each other?
No, so I'm in Division 2 North, and he's in Division 1 North. So that's a higher league than what I'm playing in.
Mm-hmm. But you can get up to that how do you get promoted? Can you go up to League One?
So obviously you can win the league, and then I think you possibly get approached. You don't have to accept it, but you get approached to say, like, do you want to go to Division 1? Obviously it comes with a price, basically. The price that everything goes up, so the referees, the ice, and
sad
stuff
days.
like if we had the option to go up, maybe we would, maybe we wouldn't. That's a bridge to cross once we
get to it, yeah.
When we get there at the end of the year.
And is that the plan, or just to keep playing and winning?
Well, the plan obviously is winning as many games as we possibly can, and hopefully we can. Well, everyone's ideal world is to come top.
Yeah.
But going off like statistics of previous years, like, don't get me wrong, we have jumped leaps and bounds higher than where we possibly expected to be. The team's 100 times better than what we were before. Like last season, we finished pretty good, and that's where we've carried on from basically for this year, which is, as it shows, we're second in the league at the minute. I hope to stay. Hope to stay up there, definitely. Our top rival, well, I say rivals, the top teams is normally Sutton and Telford. Obviously, Sutton's at top at the moment. Obviously, we've got Telford at the weekend, so we'll see
how that goes.
Basically. I think Telford might have a double header this weekend, which means obviously Saturday game, Sunday game. So we need to basically beat them to stop them drawing with us on points.
Yeah, definitely. So you and your brother, you've got like a healthy, competitive relationship.
Oh, definitely.
With hockey.
Yeah.
But there's 3 boys, right? Brothers.
Yeah,
3 of you.
I've got an older brother.
What was that like growing up?
Well, Graham weren't in the picture really when we was growing up. So me and my older brother, we just fight like cat and dog all the time. I'd end up worse. Like, it'd always make me cry and stuff like that. But we always had my mum on my corner all the time.
You were a mama's boy.
Yeah. And like I say, she'd always split us up. But then obviously when Graham come along,
The big age difference between you and Graham.
so I'm 34. What's Graham? He's got to be 20. Don't even know how old he is. How bad's that? He's got to be 26, I should imagine. Something around that.
Oh, so not massive age gap, but like you said, when you were younger,
it's enough because obviously when
to
he
not
was
be fighting with him,
yeah,
beating up a 6-year-old.
yeah. There was moments obviously as he grew up. Obviously he got to the teenage and obviously got mouthy.
So did he get into hockey because of you, or has it always been in the family? Like, was your mum and dad into hockey?
No, so mum and dad never really been mum was a sporty person. I think she did grass hockey as well and stuff like that.
That's the mum and dad met.
Was it?
Oh, that's playing grass hockey.
And
That's a wanker.
Put me off
Throwing you now.
put me off the stride.
Your mum was a sport person.
Yeah, I think my mum played a lot of sports when she was at school and stuff. But yeah, Haley, like, I've got a sister as well, and they both followed hockey.
Forgot about your sister. Sorry, Haley.
Yeah, they both followed me for hockey. Graham, well, I think my mum put a stop on it straight away. It's like, none of you are being a goalie. Because how much it cost before. And then...
and Hayden and Graham's a goalie.
Well, yeah, he is now. I think he did probably a year or 2 years as a player and then decided that he was going to go in goal. And then I kind of took him under my wing. And we always say I taught him everything he knows. But now he says, oh, I taught you everything. I was like, mate, you've taught me nothing.
Yeah, but that's healthy. Like,
Yeah.
the younger one, the young buck thinks he's
Yeah.
got it, thinks he's fitter, thinks he's more knowledgeable and
Yeah.
better. And
Yeah.
so it's cool that you're both still in it. And like I say, the banter you guys have over social media, you'd think I'd love for you both to be in the same league. I think that'd be so much better.
Oh,
but
he wants us to at least play each other once if we're on different teams. He just wants a goalie fight. Yeah, he just wants a goalie fight.
just right at the end for no reason,
Yeah,
just
for no
center,
reason.
center rink and just have it.
Yeah.
So how do the points work?
So-
Because at the moment, like, I was confused. You were like 6 points behind with 2 wins. They had 2 wins as well, and now you're only 4 points behind. I was well confused.
So maybe I don't know if that was like up to date when you looked or whatever, but as it stands, so you get 2 points for a win.
Yep.
1 for a draw, and none for a loss, basically. But if you get a draw like we did last week, so both teams will take a point, and then there'll be an initial point for whoever wins, basically. So the winner will still get the 2 points. It's just the fact that because at the end of 60 minutes you were drawing,
Oh, there has to be a winner.
there has to be a winner. Yeah.
Oh, so
So-
you just play on.
So yeah, so you play for another 5 minutes extra time, and if no one scores in them 5 minutes, then you go into penalty shots, and then you just keep going until there's a winner.
So unless you're losing, you're good to come out with a point at least.
Yeah.
But you could then come out with 2 like you've had a win,
Yeah.
even though you've had a... Oh, wow, that's different. And then there's 3 quarters, right?
Yeah, so there's 20 minutes.
No, not 3. It's only 3 quarters, you
well,
plonker. I don't know why I said 3 quarters.
Well, I knew what you meant though.
3 halves. So, no? Well, how do you say it? 3 thirds. No, thirds.
Well,
How
there's
long's the game for?
60 minutes.
It just seemed to keep going on last week forever, and I was getting colder and colder.
So each period is 20 minutes, and then roughly 15 in between, just for the... What did Neil call it?
I don't know what.
Oh, can you not remember? So Neil, obviously the Zamboni goes round,
Oh,
and,
yeah. I
and
can't
Neil
remember
was
what he
calling
called
it
I
something
can't
totally
remember what-
different.
I can't remember what he called it, yeah.
When
Oh, no, that's going to kill me
I
now.
can't remember what he said, but I was in bits when he told me. I was just like, what are you talking about?
It was the same sort of word, but different. What is a Zamboni? For people who don't know.
Well, Zamboni is the thing that goes around and freshes the ice up, cuts the ice, lays the water, so you've got a nice ice pad to play on.
And you get that every time, don't you? Every break.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say every third. Every
Every
whatever it is.
break.
Every whatever it is. Now, how long do you have in the changing rooms?
So the Zamboni normally takes about 15 minutes, and then you've probably got 5 minutes after that, so probably another 20 minutes in
God,
between.
it's a good hour and a half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hour and 40 a game.
Yeah.
You can tell that's American or Canadian because they're just thinking ad revenue. They're just thinking get those ads and the sponsors out there to bring that money in. So what does it look like for you now? Like I know we ditched on you being older and wiser and da. What's the goal with hockey now?
Just to pass my knowledge on as much as I can to all the other players. Not even pass my knowledge on, like I say, to my brother. It'd be.
Yeah, but he's better.
No, it's not.
He's in the league above.
So what?
I had to get that one in there. Got you, Graham. Got you, bro.
Oh, I ain't gonna say
it. Yeah, just to be. But what if someone higher up like come and approached you? Would you go for it? Don't listen to this Coventry Blaze, but.
Well, yeah, I probably would if the opportunity was right. Obviously, I don't, and that's another thing. The older you get, the more loyal you get to your local teams. Because the older you get, you don't want to be travelling like up to Manchester and Nottingham just for. You've got to do that 2 times a week at least, training and games and so.
I remember when you were playing at MK.
Yeah,
it was always like a 10 o'clock practice or something.
Yeah, we'd always get home for like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So obviously, being local, we train 8:45 till 9:45. I can be home for like 10, 10:30, to 11 something, but normally go to the pub. Don't listen to that, Nick. We don't.
No. Training's actually 2 hours.
Yeah. No.
Or like to say, like if someone did approach you, would you take it, or is it now like now I'm enjoying it? I'm actually enjoying this. There's no pressure. There's no.
Well, people have said to me, like, why don't I go and go to Solihull with Graham? Like I got asked that before this season started, and I was just like, why go to a team where I'm going to be fighting for a spot? Like, I know that's.
You can't hear that when you your big sledgehammer hands on the table. You can't hear it. It's all right.
No, I can hear it.
Unless you bang the actual mic.
Yeah, so like I say, they asked me if I would go there, and I was like, well, what's the point of fighting for a spot where I can stay here? I know that's easy, and that's probably lazy of me, not trying to push myself more. But I'm enjoying playing. Like, if I go to Solihull, I'm not going to get played every week, and I'm going to be fighting for a spot. And will it be a step back for me? Probably in my head.
Well, yeah, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Especially at your age now, where you're not trying to go. Well, I'll go sit third fiddle to these 2 people because the top teams might pick me up still because they see how good I am.
Yeah.
You're not worried about that anymore. It's just, you just want to play.
Well, I've been asked a couple of times to go and train, even down in Milton Keynes for Lightning, like go and train with them on a training session. And like, I'm at that, like I say, it's not going to get me anywhere.
Yeah.
So
there's no point.
I'll always push someone else, like someone that's not experienced that.
Yeah.
Like Ben, who's our backup, and I said I'll give him a call. He'll come down, and it'd be an experience for him. I'd rather give someone else that.
The top Lightning team, or the team you used to play for.
The top Lightning team, yeah. But I'd like to say, if I can pass that on by just pushing someone else and giving them the knowledge, they might get picked somewhere along the line. Because.
And why are they asking you to go? Just to be cannon fodder, or are they asking you to go because maybe they think that you're good?
No, I don't know.
You think you don't? Yeah, no. You're not sure, so you don't want to go as cannon fodder.
Yeah.
But it could be they're asking you to. They might be asking you to go because they want to sign you, Hayden.
Well, then they need to say that, then, don't they?
But they might want to see it in like an actual, like in that situation.
Well, then they need to say it.
Because is that who you used to play for, or is that was it the team below?
So we was at the team below, just similar to what we're.
Imagine you just keep brushing it off, and they're like, he won't even come and train with us. And they're like, we're inviting you to this, and you're like, nah, have this kid, and they're like, we don't want this kid, we're after you.
No, maybe that's what it all comes down to. They just want me that bad. But
I don't know, how does it happen in hockey? Is it like football? Do people just put transfers in? Do they come for you at the end of the season? Do they text you? Is it an email? Is it your best mate saying, my mates want you to come and play? Or is it, do you get a phone call?
It can happen in either of those ways. Sometimes I've not seen it, but at the higher standards, you'll probably get scouts come in, watch the game and stuff like that. And then it's word of mouth pretty much. Like you might, if your coach thinks you can go further, he might put your name forward to another team and push you in that way. or like a video clip like last week. I'm gonna keep coming back to that. But like I say, it's just
That's a new one. What is that? Video clip.
a video clip.
Keep going. We'll come back to it. That's the one we are gonna. You've said 4 times. Come back to that. We're coming back to that one.
Oh, the big glove. The big glove. You were there. You witnessed it.
Oh, that video clip.
Yeah.
I thought you meant as in someone sent you a video clip
Oh no.
asking
no.
for you to be. I'm like, Hayden, you're playing mid-season, mate. Why are you dropping on a podcast that at least minimal few hundred people see
No.
that you're being scouted already? I
No,
was a bit
no.
like, we're gonna come back to that.
No.
Oh, the glove catch. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That, dude, if that don't get you into any teams, that was sick.
No.
If I've got time, I'll put the clip in. So if you're on the audio, go to the. I'll put the clip in right in the middle of the screen here. Guys, the ball is whizzing around. They do this. I called it the behind the goal scoop, which they can do. Which I think if you did it in soccer, it'd be amazing. If they put it into football, running around the back of the goal, I reckon it would make it so much more entertaining. They can scoop round the back. It goes so fast, and you don't even see it. You just see Hayden on his knees with his hand in the air, and the play stops, and then you have to slow it down to see the puck. And I don't know how you saw it. Amazing, like amazing. And how much vodka this dude drinks to still be able to move that quick.
I reckon that's the knack anyway. It's like you got to drink before the game.
Oh, mate, when I was out in America helping, well, he would say helping, hindering, giving my mate a pit crew for I don't know what he called it, dirt racing he was doing in a buggy, they'd have shots. And then they'd be having beers and that, like probably yeehaw, but like shots, like because it's superstitious. I'm like, I don't need an excuse to drink. But mate, one shot before the game, we give you that bit of Dutch courage. I'd have to get out there with them lot. Not a chance. Even little Sammy. Oh my God, what a savage! What a savage!
That guy's had his teeth knocked out more times. He's got like a
But I can imagine
dentist on the bench.
I can imagine because he's the smaller guy. He's got a face like butter wouldn't melt. I bet he loves a good wind up, and that's worse.
Yeah.
Like I can imagine he tries to wind people up
That's part of the
to
sport,
get
isn't
them
it?
to
Yeah.
hit him, and then he's like, meh, penalty. Like I can imagine, like, but even he was like rough and tumble, shoving people up the side and that, and I was like, all right then, let's go. But I saw him smash his ale actually, so I knew I was like, he's gonna be pretty good on the ice. He can drink.
Seen him.
What is the drinking culture like we did a football special the other week and we talked about the drinking culture in lower level non-league football. What's it like in hockey? Like, do you travel on coaches and stuff like that to away games?
We used to years ago, but we don't now, just for whatever reason. But yeah, drinking wise, it's as long as you can play, you're not being a hindrance to the team.
Was that your biggest shot when you came into cheer when we had to have drinking bans and?
We had drinking bans. Did we?
Don't get us all in trouble here. Do you remember that time when you just put that pint up saying, "We're lads, quick cheeky pint while I'm meant to be working," and you put it in the group.
Oh yeah.
You put it in the cheer group, and we were on a drinking ban.
Yeah.
Sarah saw it.
Got me in trouble.
Our coach saw it. Oh my God, you like this?
It's like, you meant to be on a drinking man. I was like, oh yeah, it's not mine.
Just for the fun of it. Joke.
Yeah. We abided by the rules.
So the aim of the game now is to just play the game and just be on the ice
Just
and
play
pass
it.
off what you've learned.
Just play and enjoy it for what it is.
This is probably going to be a hard hitting question that you'll probably go, oh, you've stumped me here, but we can have a bit of silence. It's totally fine to think about it. What would you say to anybody in any sport or anything they're doing and they're playing third fiddle?
Just keep turning up. Keep pushing to be that number one. Eventually you will get your chance, and when you do get the chance, grab it with both hands and don't let it go, and that chance will come. And if it doesn't, with the team that you're in, maybe look for another team that does see your potential, and you will get your chance.
Shit, that was inspirational. I'm gonna end that there. That was inspirational. I'm gonna end the podcast there. But before we go, actually, I'm gonna get on screen so audio people miss out on my amazing goodies that you bought me for the studio. People on the audio, you can't see this, but video, you can see this. It's not even gonna fit in the camera.
Turn it around.
he's bought me. I'm gonna hockey stick.
Yeah, that's
That was close.
My goalie stick.
That's close. Hayden's goalie stick, full size goalie stick. I've already found the spot on the wall for it, and it's signed by this year's team. So when they're sponsored by Coffee with Sam for the first year, and they get promoted, I've got the stick with all the team on. And he bought me one of these oversized shirts.
Very big shirt.
I might look one of those little bitches that go to football and wear Hayden's shirt to the next game. Like, oh, I'm Hayden's bitch. Because it's massive. And I would literally look like... It's huge. But they are the best gifts. I have been given some pretty good gifts, but they... Like I say, I found the spot above the TV in the studio on the wall already. Now, I wasn't being rude earlier. I wrote on my phone. I ask every guest... your inspirational thing at the end might be it, what you said. But I ask every guest, like, one thing, one key, one moment in their life, one situation to when they can think back to, this is why I am where I am today, or this was a really good learning curve, change in my life, a key to why I didn't completely quit hockey, or to why I've won world championships with cheerleading. One key to that success. Now, there's the one at the end, and also one that if I said to you, can you remember what you said? You probably won't. So I wrote it down. I wasn't being rude. Is that winning and losing is a part of life, and it's how we learn.
Yeah.
Would that be it?
Probably not.
Cool. Go for it. It's fine. I just wanted to write it down because I know for whatever I said. Can you remember what you said earlier about winning and losing? You'd say no.
No. So
drink hockey. That sounded. I'm drinking vodka just because I thought it'd give me abs. This guy drinks it like a Russian. Sneaks it into every occasion you can sneak it into, but then still has abs. And also, every night we go out drinking, we'd then be probably on the taxi on the way home, and he'd be out walking his dog with no hangover. Don't get it. Probably goes back to what we said in the football podcast, actually, about when you're really fit, which I found as well, because I ain't fit anymore. When you're really fit, you actually don't get as bad at hangovers.
Yeah, you recover quick.
That's when we were doing cheer and that. God, we used to drink. But then we'd be like, whoa, training next day. That's when the drink bans weren't things. But now I get hangover off 1 point. But I'm not fit at all anymore. I don't think I've done sport for the past 3 years. But yeah, man, that's a pod. Thank you so much. I know you were massively nervous.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I hope I ain't hindered the podcast.
No, mate, we're going to bring it now. Wobbly Coffee, if you sound like ice hockey is going to be one of your things, jump onto the Wobbly Coffee, which is it's on the same channel as this, it's on the same audio platform as this. You know it's the other side of the Coffee with Sam. Coffee with Sam is like this. It's a bit more chilled, drinking a bit of coffee, talking about people's lives, digging into their lives and seeing where they've been, where they're going, what they're doing. They normally got an interest story with that ice hockey is not really a big sport that you normally follow or do. And then the Wobbly Coffee is a little bit looser. It's the nighttime version. We drink a bit of alcohol. Hayden is going to come back on and we'll get some more fight stories. And we'll have a few beers and we'll get deep into ice hockey. But we are going to be going into Wobbly Coffee. So Coffee with Sam, and the franchise itself is now on its way to sponsoring the Coventry Blaze. So we are going to be looking at doing way more ice hockey content. So Wobbly Coffee definitely can be doing more of that. Thanks for coming on, dude. Like I said, I know you were nervous, but that was amazing.
Oh, bro.
Thank you for my amazing goodies.
You're welcome.
I know I mentioned the top, but didn't even expect a stick or a signed stick. Like I say, when they get promoted this season, I'm going to have the picture next to it of the promoted team. It's been a pod, guys. Coffee with Sam podcast. I've been your host, and this has been the incredible
Hayden Laverick.
Peace out, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode. Please like, share, follow, invite people. If you don't like the softness of the Coffee with Sam and the success stories, follow the Wobbly Coffee. Yeah, it's hilarious. Me and my boy Jack co-hosting it, and we've actually got a special coming out. No, it's not, because this one will come out after. The special just come out as we're recording this. The Oktoberfest Fest special. Loads of German-related drunkenness, and we dressed up and everything. Go and follow the Wobbly Coffee if you don't fancy the Coffee with Sam. But all audio platforms, Spotify, Google. Yeah. Peace out until another episode. You've been incredible.